went to our individual rooms. I think anybody who knew would not have suspected, but any old guard would have realized that there's no hurry. These guys are now going in such a hurry back to their rooms. What is the reason? Something like that. Curiosity was definitely not there. And Chati made an excuse and went into Squad Leader Jafa's room to give him Jafa had a back injury. So it was created as an SOP that mornings he would go and rub his back, something like that. Basically it was to ensure that Chati would not be beaten up or injured or, something done to him fatally as an overreaction of the guard. Because, the very reaction of the Pakistanis, I'll tell you, after these officers got caught and they came back, as I said, they escaped. As per plan, they went to Peshawar in the bus. There they planned to buy some more items to camouflage themselves. But Dilip Parulkar, who was dark in color, who's from Pune, he was the one who drew attraction. Who attracted attention. And it was because of that attention that somebody walked up to him and asked him, "Who are you?" And then the game was up. All of them got captured. And as I said, Osman had gone and was posted to Peshawar Air Headquarters as the staff officer to the chief of the Pakistan Air Force. So when they were caught, this political agent was told that, "Listen, we are from Pakistan Air Force. If you don't believe us, you put us through to Air Headquarters and we'll speak to Squad Leader Osman, who's the staff officer to the chief." There could have been no better guarantee for your life than this statement that Dilip Parulkar made. And it was a fact. Because can you imagine having access to the chief of the staff officer to the chief of the Air Force? So the political agent dialed the chief number, got Osman on the line, and Dilip spoke to him. So Dilip said, "Sir, this is Dilip Parulkar." So Osman understood immediately that they had escaped. And he was very cautious. And he said, "Okay, Dilip, you don't move from there. How many are you?" He said, "We're 3 of us." He said, "All right, you just stay there. I'm sending an escort." And he told the political agent, "Just keep them there. They are Air Force people. And they should not have been there. We will investigate. Keep them there." So he sent an armed guard, and they came and picked up these 3 officers. So now, meanwhile, in our camp, as I told you, after breakfast, when these 3 officers were not getting up, the guard, after a little while, at about 11 o'clock, got very agitated, and it was a Sunday. So he informed the main guard room, "Teen saab log khaya nahi hai abhi breakfast." So that corporal came, tall Pathan fellow. He came, opened that cell room, went inside, and he about to wake up somebody, and he found there was no people in the bed, the only pillows. And then, of course, the alarm went off. And all of us were then in our rooms giggling away. But we were also very uncertain what they might do. So we didn't show ourselves in front of the cell. The guard may start shooting. Anything can happen. And so this is what I said. If you remember, I mentioned the first thing that happened, the warrant officer who was supposed to be on duty, Warrant Officer Rizvi, he was hurriedly summoned, and the base commander of Chaklala Air Force Base was informed that 3 people have escaped. So he also landed up. And Rizvi went straight to the senior most, Wing Commander Koilo, and then individually he came around to us. And he particularly came to me because I was a junior most, and they had some sort of, what should I say? They were very impressed with my morale or my fitness or whatever you want to call it, and being the junior most. So I remember him saying to me, "You are treacherous people. Tum log asli kafir ho," or some words to that effect. And he says, so we told him it is our duty to escape. It's a prisoner of war duty. It's official duty. He says, "No, but you betrayed our trust. You're not trustworthy," and all that sort of thing. But he was particularly hurt and upset.
1 second, say, Ira, I may interrupt for your this thing. So,
Yeah.
What was their first reaction, sir? I think it would be a somewhat intimidating type of thing, or only treacherous kind of.
No, we refused to go out. As I told you, it's that instinct to protect yourself.
Yes, sir.
Always kicks in. So we went into our cells and we didn't want to come out. They also said, "Aaj Sunday hai, aap log milenge nahi." We said, "Nahi." That guard came around and all that. He should have sensed something, but being a new chap, he did not. So he said, "Teen sab log khaya nahi hai." That was his report to the guard room. So when the guard came, and that tall corporate, I forget what's his name, he was a Pathan, very tall, about 6 feet 5 inches. And he was the one, and he also was very upset. He said, "You people cannot be trusted," and all that sort of. They were aggressive in a polite way, because like our airmen, if you're let down, you'll be angry. There's no doubt. So they were angry, but there was no way they could harm us.
No manhandling, sir. No physical manhandling, sir.
No, not immediately, because right now their anxiety is something else. Guys who were missing from duty, like Rezvi, had to be called first. Then the station commander had to be informed.
Sir.
And he came on a Sunday, and then he said, he ordered an immediate court of inquiry. The court assembled. Inquiry started. We were questioned, some of us, they just put together the fact that I came out 4 times from my cell. That is a very frightening part for me, because at midnight I'm out in the open. While they're escaping, if there was even a little noise.
Yes, sir.
Like Chati, if Chati had dropped one brick, I would have been shot outside.
Yes.
Because he's not going to wait for me. I'm out in the open. He's going to shoot me and then run to that cell to find out what is happening there. So he can't leave me out in the open and go. He'll just say, I shot the fellow. That's all. That's all he's going to say.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's it. I mean, that was it. So immediately the inquiry and all started, as I said. And I remember, I can only talk for myself. I was completely stripped naked, and even the toothbrush was taken away. I think by evening, after the inquiry was over, and I think things cooled down a bit, they gave us some of our belongings back. Nothing that could be used in any way, only our clothes and toothbrush. And that's it. And I think it was a day after that, that means the 3rd day after the escape, we were all bundled into a van. Same thing, we were handcuffed, blindfolded, shoes, my shoes, I don't remember. I think shoes were on, but we were handcuffed and blindfolded. Otherwise, they take off your shoes. Earlier, they had taken off my shoes so that you can't run very far. And we were driven from Rawalpindi to the maximum security prison in Layalpur. So that is where we were. And that's where we stayed for the next 4 months. So if anybody else has any questions about this escape part or anything you want to know, you can ask me, because I can cover that part before I get on to the end of how we returned.
So, as soon as they were caught, they got the idea of talking about squadron leader Usman.
Yeah.
So they wanted to inform squadron. Was it a part of the planning or instantaneous this thing, sir?
No, we knew it was not instantaneous.
Sir.
Okay, let me add a few things. You see, when we escaped, it was 14th of August. It was their Independence Day. Sir. The next day is our Independence Day. And I don't know for what reason, but President Giri was visiting Kabul on that day.
Okay.
Right? So the plan was very hyped up on this 4th attempt that they must get out, they must cross over, they must reach the Indian embassy and come back with the president. After all, he's a supreme leader. It would have been sensational. Yes. Absolutely sensational news, both in India, Pakistan, as well as to the world, because we had already won the war. and it would reiterate the spirit of India and the Indian Armed Forces. So, unfortunately, if Dilip had not stopped and they had got on to the next train to Landi Kotal or Landi Khana, the mistake was there itself. We didn't know that Landi Kotal, or which I forget which one, had been closed down. The new station was next to it, and that was called Landi Khana. So the book that we had read or smuggled in was an old book, 1947. By then, they had changed the railway station and created another railway station very close to this old railway station, but same distance and located side by side. So the moment the political agent heard about Landi Kotal, he said, "Arey, ye to band ho gaya tha. Aap log wahan kis liye ja rahe hain?" That sort of. He said, "No, hum to usko dekhne ja rahe hain." Then he got suspicious, and he said, "Okay, you hold on here." And then the others also were there, so they had to be waiting, and that's how they got caught. Okay. Otherwise, if you had crossed Landi Kotal, then you are on the highway to Kabul. Okay. They would have just have to intersect that highway somewhere and pick up a lift, thumb a lift from somebody or any bus going there. They had some Pakistani rupees. They could have paid with that money. All our money we had gathered and given it to them, whatever we could save. So they had money, and they would have landed up in Kabul and gone to the Indian embassy. Afghanistan those days was extremely friendly. There was none of the problem that exists today. It was after all, Afghanistan was a part of India in the good old days. There was no such a thing. It was all the greater territories of the northwest frontier province.
So had they escaped, it could have been one of the greatest escapes in the world history.
Yeah, it would have been. Well, I would say, if any of you have seen Stalag 17, the German war camp, that was really a tough escape. Digging long tunnels, and for years they have been prisoners of war. This would have been a sensational. That's why I said it would have been sensational. Imagine intercepting your president from an enemy country, going into another friendly country, and meeting him on Independence Day. It would have been something
sensational. It would have been sensational. Yes.
So,
now, to give a small break, I'd like to request any of the panel members, including J.W. Pathak sir, if you have any questions, so that our guests can have some kind of respite for some time. J.W. Pathak sir, would like to ask him anything. So I think he is the main person to take the initiative of conducting this program. So J.W.S. Pathak sir, yes sir.
Yeah, no, what you're telling is very clear. There is no doubt as such. I have spoken about this to Group Captain Parulkar also.
Yeah.
He was kind enough to talk to me. I had to talk about 1.5 hours. And same thing, whatever Kuruvilla sir has told, same thing he had told us earlier.
Okay.
Yeah. I talked to Parulkar sir also about this.
And we have one wing commander, sir, M.A. Full name is not visible to me. So you, sir, Afraz, sir, if you would like to speak to. I request the wing commander Afraz sir or Group Captain Das sir. He is another hero. Sir, unmute yourself, sir. Unmute. Goopy sir, unmute yourself. We can't hear you. Yes, sir. Or anybody for that matter, Ramalingam Garu?
No, sir. I don't have any. Thanks.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so clear that there are no. Yes,
Kuruvilla. Kuruvilla Sahab, you were at that time very young. Yes. And I was an instructor in OTU at that time.
Okay.
And we were the ones to operate from Jaisalmer.
Right.
And our episodes were entirely different from yours.
Yes.
And you were taken as a prisoner of war. Thankfully, we were fighting our war only in the Indian territory.
Yeah.
So whatever was happening in the Indian territory and close to Indian territory across the border. So we, by God's grace, we escaped ejections into Pakistani territory. So thankfully, 122 Squadron at the end of the war survived not a single loss of aircraft, not a single loss of pilot.
Wonderful.
So that itself is a diametrically opposite story of yours.
Yeah.
But hats off to you, Kuruvilla. God bless. And as I told you, I am from 80 pilots course.
Oh, fantastic. And which squadron was this, sir, you're talking about?
Huh?
Which squadron was this that you mentioned?
122.
Come again?
122.
Yes, sir.
122. 122. Okay.
122 Squadron.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Which was a part of the OCU.
Yes, sir. Yes, I understand.
OCU at that particular time.
Yes.
So it was put as 122 Squadron at Jaisalmer.
Oh, fantastic. What aircraft was it?
Hunters.
Hunters. Okay. Amazing. Hunters.
So,
Hunters. Hunters did a lot of good work, sir. They did a lot of good work.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So the Jaisalmer Air Base, there is a full story on that particular air base.
Yes.
Commanded by, at that time, Wing Commander M.S. Bawa.
Yes.
And,
I know.
Squadron.
Yeah.
So, as I said, our story is entirely diametrically opposite to yours. But hats off to you people, having had the guts to do a breakout from Pakistani POW camp and attempt an escape. That is great, I tell you. Hats off to you people.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I expect every panelist to type, Kuruvilla sir, hats up to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, really hats off.
We salute your bravery. We salute your bravery, sir, in fact.
So, Kuruvilla, you were just married and you were separated from your family.
That's right.
And when I was fighting, my wife was carrying and she was in the final stages.
Right.
So just imagine the plight.
Yeah.
Both the sides.
That's right.
No communications.
No communication.
So I can empathize with your wife.
Yeah.
What would I have been going through her mind at that particular time?
Yes. I know we have to
anyway,
we have to give credit to our wives for sure. Definitely.
Not only you, sir, the entire nation has to give credit to you and your families for that brave act of courage and all those things. The entire nation is proud of you and love you a lot.
Thank you. Anyway, so
unfortunately, my wife passed away last December 25th. Anyway, after about 50 years of our married life.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Anyway, that being the case, my daughter was born on the 17th of December. So she is going to complete 50 years this December.
One day after victory.
So, sir, we are actually, how should I put it? Your daughter was born on the day the war ceased. The war finished on December 17th. That's amazing. So, a double celebration.
and she was named Jayashree.
Oh, victory.
Victory. Well done, well done, well done.
Okay.
Well done.
And this year we plan to celebrate the December month for her, for our my Veer Chakra. Then the December, my commissioning date is also December 19th, and then the war ended in December, and then my daughter's birthday, 17th of December. So all those celebrations in the month of December, we want to celebrate.
What about your marriage, sir? Marriage?
Wonderful.
So it's all great things are successful things are stacked up within 1 month itself. Daughter's this one birthday and your commissioning and India's victory and so many things happened, sir. So really, it's congratulations, sir, for the month of December, for so many things happened for you. And definitely, we would like to join you a part of your celebration for December 2021, sir.
I only hope that I am going to be on my 2 feet, at least with a walker or something like that, because at the moment my feet are not cooperating with me.
Sir.
My hands are okay.
Yes, sir. By remembering the December month, that you will, I wish that God will give you so much energy that you will be able to stand on your own and celebrate the occasion with all our air warriors, sir. That's our hope and belief.
God bless. Kuruvilla, which course are you?
28th NDA, 97.
Equivalent of a pilot's course?
Yes, 97.
97 pilot's course. Okay. Okay.
Now,
anyway, congratulations once again for all the efforts which you have done. And you have acquitted yourself very well, Kuruvilla.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So,
thank you.
Sir, thank you, Group Captain Das, sir, for your wonderful intervention at this stage and for giving a lot of encouragement to all our members. Definitely, sir, we are earnestly looking forward to have a separate webinar with you in due course. By the grace of God, maybe within 1 month or 2 months, by the time you get all right, we'll have a separate call with you, sir.
Okay, we will talk to each other later.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So I'm going off the Zoom.
Yes, sir. So kind of you, sir, for having joined with the call. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So let's all.
Thank you, Kuruvilla. God bless.
Thank you, sir.
God bless.
Thank you, sir. Nice talking to you.
We wish you all good health.
Thank you.
Same to you, sir. Thank you.